Hi, doctor. Are you currently seeing patients with shoulder pain? What about frozen shoulder? What if I could teach you a neurological treatment system in which you could literally take a person from frozen shoulder to a full range of motion in 2 visits? And this system is so powerful that we guarantee results in 2 visits, or we don't accept the patient for care. What about the frustration you're going through because of the lack of the ability to help patients suffering with these shoulder problems, and the frustration of patients who come into your clinic with knee pain and you have no answer to help them except maybe a laser or some other type of modality? What if you had patients suffering with knee pain and I could teach you a neurological treatment system in which patients could see results within 2 visits? Imagine the success that you would have and the happiness that goes along with knowing that within 2 visits you could change someone's life and then put them on a care plan to constantly improve their range of motion and decrease pain. What if there were a neurological treatment system in which you had patients suffering with peripheral neuropathy and numbness and tingling and burning in the feet and people couldn't sleep at night? Imagine the frustration of that. And being able to help patients improve the quality of their life and enjoy the rest of their life with their loved ones, their family, their kids, and not worrying about falls, go out and golf and go on vacations without being any fear of falling or the return of pain, suffering, and pins and needles. Hi, I'm Dr. Andy Barlow. I'm a board certified chiropractic neurologist. I also carry a fellowship in functional neurology, and every Wednesday night at 5 p.m., I'm giving a 1-hour seminar free of charge. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help your community. I'm here to help our profession go to the next level. And what if these 3 new revenue streams that we have, frozen shoulder, knee pain, and peripheral neuropathy, what if we could actually increase your income to over $1 million a year using these 3 avenue streams? I personally look forward to seeing you every Wednesday night. I want to completely change your life and change your community's life. And I can help you do that because I've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of doctors from Europe to Canada, all the way to New Zealand with these types of health issues. Okay? So I look forward to seeing you Wednesday night at 5 p.m. Central on the webinar. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you on the internet.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Anthony. I have a special guest today, Dr. Dwayne Ackerman. Did I say it right?
No, Ackerman.
I'm going to stop down. I'm going to try one more time. Hold on. Hey, I should have at the end, I should do like blow spoofs at the end of the year. Okay. Ackerman. All right.
Close enough.
Oh, Ackerman. Is that right?
There you go.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Anthony. I have a special guest today, Dr. Dwayne Ackerman. I'm excited for having him on Edge on Regenerative Medicine Show, the place where we get you the best and bring you the best of the best doctors in their niches. Right now, we are going to be talking about a little bit about neuropathy, a little bit about decompression, and a little bit on knee and shoulder. Our huge title today is why decompression systems are so important to your back pain or knee pain. And thank you so much, doctor, for being on the show. I appreciate it. Well,
hey, it's a pleasure to be here. I've seen some of your other videos with some of the other docs that you have on. You've had some awesome docs that have been on here that have done fantastic job promoting what we as chiropractors do. And I don't know how many people listen to you or have found you, but if they haven't, they're missing out on a lot of really good information. So it's an honor to be here with you guys today.
Well, you know, we're excited, and I always tell everybody out there in internet land, because this is being launched out to all the social media systems out there, from Twitter to LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I mean, we can go on and on, but we always tell everybody, make sure you share the video, please, because one video can change one person's life. This show is really focused on getting doctors' passions out into the universe of what they do to help people. And so let's get into decompression. You know, how did you get, for one thing, before we go into that, how did you get into the chiropractic arena?
Boy, that goes back to when I was about 12 years old. I had a neck injury playing basketball as an 8th grader.
Oh, wow.
And at the time, I was kind of a good player, and our school was going to the city tournament, and something happened, got some neck pain, and couldn't play. I couldn't turn my head, yada, yada, yada. And my family took me to the family doctor, nothing. And fortunately, they had a chiropractor by the name of Jack Wilson that went to our church, and they took me to him. I was scared to death. I didn't know what to expect. I never even heard of the word chiropractic at the time. And went into him, came out, no pain. I could move my head. I thought he was, right up there with God, because the medical doctors didn't do anything for me, but he did. And within about 2 years after that, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I knew that being a chiropractor was what I was supposed to do. And I've been at it over 30 years now and still love getting up, coming to the office, working on people, seeing those same types of things happen, daily. It's such a cool profession that sadly, lots of people have a bad impression of. They think that we're quacks, we're kooks, we're doing voodoo, we're doing, we're killing people, causing strokes, blah, blah, blah. Nothing could be further from the truth. So it's hard to fight to get the message out there because there's so much money in traditional drugs, medicine, surgery. So all the stuff like this is always helpful.
So you said you were 8 years old?
Pardon?
Did you were 8 years old when you saw a chiropractor?
I was about 12.
About 12, okay. And then 2 years later, you said, hey, this is what I want to do, basically.
Yeah, by the time I was 14, 15, I'd had a couple other football injuries. First person I went to was a chiropractor, and I liked lifting weights, doing all that kind of stuff. So it was just a good fit for me. I mean, I was born to do this, that's for sure.
I feel that a lot of people they look at a chiropractor as they only do one thing, which I would say very few chiropractors do one thing, not realizing that they just think it's just their back, not realizing that you guys help people with their knee. You help a lot of chiropractors help people with neuropathy, stuff like that. And a lot of people don't know that, to be honest with you.
Oh, no, it's sad, but when I, especially my neuropathy patients, they say, if this works so well, why aren't other providers doing it? The simple answer is there's not enough money in it.
Yeah. It's sad.
The hospitals, the doctors, the neurologists, they make more money treating you, coming in, doing exams, yada, 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 than fixing it. And it's just a sad situation, but it is what it is. I've been hearing for 30 years in practice, everybody should come to us first, yada, 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 which I think they should, but reality is it's not going to happen. So we've kind of got to do a grassroots word of mouth type deal. And fortunately, the chiropractic has been around for over 100 years by that.
No, exactly. One of the things that I realized, I know for myself, the main reason why I'm a huge fan, I was off of work for almost a year. I had a slip disc and could not work. I couldn't sleep on a bed. I was in so much pain. I had to actually sleep on the floor to actually be comfortable. And I remember I was in so much pain that one of my friends said, you really should go check out a chiropractor, man. I'm like, I have nothing to lose. Sure, whatever. So I go to a chiropractor and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go to a chiropractor. He's going to give me a little white bag with a bunch of pills to take. So my brain, I just didn't know. go to
It-
chiropractor.
Chiropractic was what you thought it was at the time.
That's what I thought it was. I was like, okay, well, they're just going to give me more pills and they're going to want to do surgery because I already heard about surgery for my back. And so, long story short, or short story long, I went there and the doctor said, for one thing, I wouldn't be doing all the weightliftings that they've been trying to tell me to do. He goes, I wouldn't be doing that because I noticed when I was doing that, it was making me worse. He goes, stop that. And what I want you to do is I want you to swim laps every day and I'll be adjusting you every week. Man, within like 7 days, I had no more pain in my back. My slip disc, it was like, what slip disc? Man, I swim like a fish almost every day. Yeah. And so ever since then, I believe in chiropractors, and not just that. Now I'm starting to get into regenerative medicine as I get older. So I love you guys. And the reason why, it's because you guys have so much to offer. And that's part of the reason why we're doing the show, because regular doctors, and I can say this, regular doctors that are, in the field where you go there, they tell you to get surgery or they give you pills and stuff like that. They're trying to help, but a lot of them really, they're not trying to help at the same time because they're not going to the root of the problem.
Right.
Here's a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Have a drink, get back with me in 2 weeks, let me know how you feel. And then when those pills stop working, you got to go back for a higher dose and a higher dose. What I love about, I'm going to say you guys, chiropractors and neuropathy specialists and neurologists, what I love, and I kind of put you guys all in a circle. What I love is that you guys think outside the box. You're thinking outside the box. What can we do to better help people and to heal them, but not just put a Band-Aid on it? So that's,
In the neuropathy people, they don't think they can be helped. There's a huge neuropathy Facebook page that I follow, and it's probably the most active page out there.
I probably follow the one you follow.
Yeah, there's people out there. It's just crazy, and I've tried to reach out to some of them to say, look, we can do this remotely, and we can actually help you. Nothing, crickets. They just don't respond, and it's really sad. But they've got this box that they think of what neuropathy is and what can be done.
It's the mentality. So it's that mentality, though. What's sad about it is you can tell a lot about a person by what they say. And I hear that like when I talk to some people about neuropathy, they'll be using words like my neuropathy. They'll use those keywords like my. When I start hearing my, it's like, it's not yours. It's not like you went to the 7-Eleven or the store to go pick up a box of cereal or a box of, headache today. And so what happens is they kind of train themselves. And then you have the other type of people where they have neuropathy and they're like, I want to get healed. I believe I'll get better. What can you do to help me? And those are the people that you're looking for.
Right. It's amazing.
Those are hard to find.
Yeah, it's amazing how well it works. The decompression works amazingly well on the right type of patient. And that's
so let's talk about decompression.
Okay.
Someone's starting to feel some numbness. I'm just going to come up with something, a little bit of numbness right here. And it's maybe they're feeling pain shooting up in their neck. Would decompression be something for something like that?
Decompression in the neck is a little different animal compared to decompression in the low back.
Okay.
When people think about decompression, they should be thinking about their low back. Mainly the L4, 5 disc, L5S1, the two bottom shock absorbers, if you will, in your low back. Because, physics, most of your body weight's sitting on those two little round discs, and they blow out, they wear out, they get thinner, and cause all kinds of pain, neurologic symptoms that people have from, 18-year-olds to 75-year-olds can have problems. The decompression may be able to help. And that's why we have to do pretty thorough exam, usually decent x-rays, and try and figure that out. because the last thing I want to do in my office is treat somebody just to get some money from them. That's wasting their time, terrible for my reputation. I want to find out, can I help them?
Right.
And if I believe I can, I'm going to tell them. If I can't, I'm going to tell them. And fortunately, you know, most of the patients we can help. A few come in and we send them directly to surgery. They're at a point, there's nothing I can do to help. That doesn't happen often, but it does happen. And, you know, we send them off and they usually have surgery in about 24 hours. You know, so, but the others that don't require surgery respond wonderful to decompression. And decompression is for the younger person, i.e. under 50, that has a bulging disc in sciatica where they get the shooting pains down their leg. They get the lightning pain down the leg that starts in their low back, you know, comes out their butt, goes down the leg. Sometimes it goes to the knee. Sometimes it goes down to the foot. Just depends on which nerve is involved and trapped. But one of the cool things is, the fun things now after all these years is figuring out, okay, is this a disc problem or is it a nerve entrapment problem once the nerve leaves the spinal cord? And it's fun figuring that out, because most of the cases that I see with low back and sciatica don't actually come from the low back. It's more of a nerve entrapment syndrome in the glutes and that type of thing that need worked out. But once you figure that out, then you know what to do for them. And then when you can fix them, they're happy campers. And they almost don't believe that it's true. Your story that you gave was interesting. We've been doing decompression for, oh my gosh, since 02, 03, something like that. And I'll never forget a case. A gentleman came in, been treating by the family doc, went to the neurosurgeon, went to PT, had this for 6 months, 9 months, whatever it was, I don't remember now, but came in, is like, can you help me? It's like, well, I think we can. We'll put you on our decompression machine. We'll put you through our treatment protocol. And lo and behold, the guy responded quite well. And so, I don't know, like 12 weeks after he started our care, he had a follow-up appointment with the surgeon. And he was like, I'm going to go to that surgeon and I'm going to tell him this worked. And so he did. And I was flabbergasted at the surgeon's response.
I could just imagine. What? Let me guess. He said, I got to meet this guy.
No, it just got better on its own. What he did didn't help. But he'd had this for 6 months, had tried everything under the sun. He starts with us, boom, within a couple of weeks, he's virtually pain-free, but what we did didn't help. So that's what we're fighting against out there in the public, is there's still PTs, MDs, nurse practitioners that are saying, no, that can't work. It doesn't do any good. You're wasting your money.
Talk about that real quick. Why do you think they say that? Shouldn't you guys be all on the same team? I'm just saying, like,
there's some inherent biases that people have, you know, from family, from your environment you grow up in, what medical school you go to. Because when you go to medical school, like I went to chiropractic school,
right,
you believe what they tell you.
Actually,
you know what I mean? You just believe that. And that's fine. You should. You're paying big bucks for it. But I had a professor one time, it's probably the most honest thing he said. He said, 50% of what we're teaching you is wrong. We just don't know which 50% it is. It's a beautiful statement.
Dude, that's humility right there.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, I get you on that. I'll give you an example. I used to be a tennis pro for many years. That was my passion. And there was only 2 certifications in the world. It was USPTA and USPTR. and for tennis. And I remember I got my USPTA, and whenever I would be with another professional that was teaching like myself, and they would find out what rank I was, and if I didn't go to their schooling, oh man, yeah, we can't work with you. Like it's literally like a turnoff. Like it's like they're trained to go against each other. So what I did was I went and got both certifications, so I didn't have to hear about it.
Well, I hope that the internet and the information age is helping to people to see other things, because, if you've got neuropathy and your gabapentin or neurotin or whatever isn't working, you start searching around online. Hopefully some people are starting to see that, hey, there is something else out there besides drugs and surgery. And I'm not all against drugs and surgery. There's a time and place for all of it. I shattered this collarbone riding motocross. Thank God there was an orthopedic surgeon to put me back together.
Exactly.
But at the same time, they don't, some do, some don't. They don't give us the credibility that I just gave them there for being experts at what they do. And I think the medical community gets so inundated with drugs, with trials, this and that. The drug reps coming into their office every day. God knows how much money they're getting behind the scenes coming through the back door.
There's a whole bunch of.
It's a tough thing to accept that there may be another way. Mm-hmm. But the chiropractic has only survived 100 years because of results. And the coolest thing about it is chiropractors have been doing the same basic thing for over 100 years. And we're the quacks. We're the quacks. The medical community in the 1950s was telling people, if you exercise, you're going to have a heart attack and die. Chiropractors weren't saying that, but we're the quacks.
Right.
But it's a hard message to get out there. So thank goodness, there's things like this in your show, to do this. So
sure, but here's the funny part. Let's flip it around. And I wish this upon not my worst enemy, because if you're out of alignment, when you're out of alignment. So for myself, I get about 2 adjustments every month because I get these headaches. Okay. Really bad headaches. And if I miss a week with my chiropractor, I get these headaches. I'm not getting adjusted. Yeah. I have I think from the slip disc that I did have affected a little bit of things with my scoliosis. So I've got to, and then traveling for work. But what's interesting is before I can normally sense when I'm about to get a headache. So I go right to my doctor, takes care of me and get aligned. I'm like $1 million. I'm good for like 3 weeks. But what's funny is that these, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, you've been adjusted enough to know when things aren't quite right.
I'm starting to
instantly, and it's a simple fix. But people go jammed up for years and wonder why it's going to take 6-8 weeks to get you feeling better. Why can't you just go bam and it's better?
You're right, but see, that's why we need people like yourselves, even staying in those groups. I'm going to go a little bit deeper with you after this call, but I'm in those same groups, and there's like 200,000, 300,000 people in there that are showing pictures of their feet, neuropathy, and all this stuff, and all I hear is a bunch of complaining.
Yes.
I'm thinking if we had somebody like you that did 3 videos a month, you go in there, push Facebook Live, and put a catchy topic. I bet you if you did it 3 times a month, a lot of those people, when they hear your story or hear others people's story, they're going to start coming to you and they're going to want to learn. Because I notice that when I tell stories, like with what you told about myself, and then I say, you know what, I went to a chiropractor. It's funny how when they hear it from somebody else or they hear a story, all of a sudden they want to, the ones that have the ears will come, but it's what I was kind of going back to. We'll swing around that a little bit later after we're done. But it's funny because the ones that aren't chiropractors, when their back goes out, because it will go out one day, when their back goes out, the funny part is they end up running to you guys.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And it's people are funny. People are crazy. You know, you got to be a little crazy to be a chiropractor.
But you're in a great age, and I'll tell you why. It's sad, but this is what I love, and a lot of people don't realize this. There's going to be a new generation coming up in the next 5 to 10 years of people needing chiropractors. I think sooner. It's because of this. Everybody does this, including myself. I've gotten a lot better. But get your phone and just looking down, start getting this bird neck. And I'm always on my kids about it. Huh?
Everybody does that.
Right. You know, exactly. And I always tell people, you got to think that you have a attack right under you. So I'm always pretending in my mind so I can stop doing it, you know, because I'm not doing that. But there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are going to be needing your services. So for me, I almost kind of feel like the word chiropractor is slowly dying out. But I think that's a good thing for chiropractors, and I'll tell you why. I really think that we should start coining chiropractic more like for like neuropathy specialists, neuropathy doctors. That, you know what I mean? Because neuropathy kind of, I don't know, it's got a different connotation. What are your thoughts on that?
Neuropathy has, when I hear neuropathy, and most people hear it, I think they think more of a medical model than they do of a chiropractic model. When when people think of chiropractic, they think neck and back pain, headaches sometimes.
Right.
Changing that dynamic is hard. You know, even watching the guys on Shark Tank. You know, if somebody has a great idea, you know, I've heard Mark Cuban say, "You've got a great idea, but I don't have enough money to re-educate the whole world that they need your product."
You got a point.
That's chiropractic.
Okay.
You know, there's not enough money in it to get the word out up against the drug companies, because that's where all the money's at. I mean, look, you know, this whole COVID-19 stuff, you know, they're talking about this new company in Australia can do 100 million vaccines by the end of the year. 100 million? How much money is that?
Don't worry, Bill Gates will pay for it.
Yeah. You know, you and I will pay for that. And, you know, chiropractic can't compete against that. So it's just tough.
I think if we all, so you're in Indiana, Evansville, correct?
Yes.
So I think that if every chiropractor focused just on their area to make it better, they can. And I think that there's a lot of great marketing strategies, you know, and I mean, Facebook's made it a lot easier for people to get out there. And so that's part of one of the things that we're doing right now. You know, I've got a goal before the end of the year. I want to have at least 1 million people that are connected to what we do and to be seen more. So I'm ramping my engine for that. And I think that if it doesn't start going big, I think it's, you know, old school style, you know, how do you eat an entire elephant? One slice at a time. You know, you take care of Evansville, Indiana. The next doctor takes care of where his little territory is. I think that if we all decided to come together, even as chiropractors, I'm not one, but if everybody came together and said, you know, we need to take back what's been taken.
It would help. It'd be nice. You know, I hope I see it, you know, in the next 10, 15 years.
I think you will, though, because we're in a different age. We're in the age of information. And I think this Corona thing, I can't stand that word, but this whole thing that happened the past month, 2 months, has shown that everything is just going into the age of information. And you can't believe everything that you hear or even sometimes see. Yeah. And people are starting to realize that a lot of the news stuff is just false because it's a propaganda for more money. And now people are even realizing when they start hearing from other people, I was healed from neuropathy. That spreads quickly, especially in those little circles. So I like to be optimistic, but also look at the other side of the coin and say, no, you know, we're going to kick butt. We're going to take over this. I call it this drug lord that a lot of these, I'll just say people are given to people just to put a patch on someone's pain. And speaking of patch, let's talk about what are some of the symptoms, other symptoms would you say that people, if they were in need of a decompression at your office, what are some other things besides the muscle, pulled muscle, or what are other symptoms that they would experience?
The first thing is usually pain for decompression. You don't have to have sciatica or the pain or numbness tingling down your legs to need it, but you're definitely going to have some low back pain. Oftentimes, I'll try this. I don't know if it'll work. If you can see me, I want to stand up.
Right.
You still see me here?
Yeah.
Oftentimes, they will come in like this. They'll be bent.
Right.
And if you try and straighten them up, it hurts like crazy, or it just can't get there.
Right.
And that's the beauty of that, is their brain subconsciously is doing the right thing for them to protect that nerve. So we've got to work within the neurology of what's going on.
Correct.
To help them. We can't just take somebody like that's all bent over and just go at them. You can't do that. You got to have a little finesse and know what you can do and what you can't do, and that comes from years of experience of treating these patients. So the acute pain, you can't stand up straight, shooting pains down the leg, one side or the other, those are the ones that we'll see. Oftentimes, we see those that have tried either PT or certainly some of the medicines, muscle relaxers, those type of things, they're not getting better. They don't want to have surgery. They don't have time to be off work for 12 weeks. They're scared of surgery. They've heard of people that come out, worse than what they came in. So there's a certain segment out there that's like, I don't want to do surgery. So they start seeking something else out. They often find the decompression. They'll find a patient that was treated, whatever. They'll come in and give us a chance to look at them and see if we can help.
Do you think a lot of the decompression is by mostly diet? Are you seeing? Or would you say it's just mostly maybe just someone got injured or just age? What do you think you see the most?
It's about 50-50. It's about 50% of them will do something and just wham.
Right.
They'll bend over, they'll pick something up, they'll reach, they'll grab something, and the disc just expands out, bulges out, herniates, if you will, and they know exactly when it happened. The others are more of a chronic degenerative thing where they've just abused themselves, haven't taken care of themselves, overworked. We've got a Toyota factory in the area, a lot of repetitive motion. And everybody does repetitive things. They don't realize it. They think, oh, it's just these Toyota people, putting this part onto here.
Yeah, I know.
It's people do repetitive on their phones doing this. You can get repetitive injuries doing whatever. If you have a job, you're doing repetitive movement. You just are.
I know being on the computer a lot, I get the same thing. Like I've got to do my stretches every 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah, and that, sitting in a chair has certain effects on your neck, your shoulders, your low back, whatever. So people's lives get busy. They got bills to pay, the kids to raise. They put up with pain, and then when they can't stand it anymore, then they'll come a calling. It'd be nice to see them earlier, but human nature is until it affects your life.
Yeah, I know.
Don't come in.
Oh, wow. So let's say there's somebody right now that's having that's being very hesitant to want to see somebody like yourself. Hopefully there's somebody in your area that you can help out. But what would you say to them that are being hesitant? like, you know.
The biggest thing is that if I think we can help you, we'll tell you. If I don't think I can, I'm going to tell you that as well. I'm in a small town. I've been here almost 30 years. Being honest with people is the only thing that's kept me in business. And getting them over the trust issue is the biggie. Once they trust you, it's a big help. And then building up the patient bond so they trust you, and then they know that we're not going to hurt you. You know, chiropractors have the lowest malpractice insurance of anybody. And insurance companies charge based on risk. If I was a risk to them, they would be charging me a whole lot more than they do.
Right.
You know, and so I kind of give that analogy with patients sometimes, like how many times does an average family doctor get sued versus how many times does a chiropractor get sued? You know, I think the stats with chiropractors, it's one lawsuit for every 2 chiropractors for their whole career. In family docs, it's, you know, probably 1 to 3 times a year.
Right.
You know, and so we're safe. We don't hurt people, and it helps. You know, we're not going to make things worse. That's the biggie. You know, there's not a risk of me making your back worse or you dying on the table or being paralyzed like there is if you go to surgery.
Right.
You know, I read a stat here a few weeks ago that 1 out of 400 knee replacements that the person dies within 30 days of the knee replacement.
Holy.
You know, now that probably encompasses a lot of things, but that's infections, that's anesthesia issues, you know.
Wow.
That's a high risk. And if you went to O'Hare Airport and there's 400 planes sitting out there and they're like, one of those bad boys is going to crash today, are you going to get on an airplane at O'Hare? Not me. You know, so we don't cause those things. So it's helping without hurting is the beauty of it.
What would you say is different? So in your town in Evansville, how is your practice different than the other doctors in your area, would you say? What like the benefits? Is there anything?
Other chiropractors or other medical doctors?
Other chiropractors in your surrounding area that with say neuropathy, decompression.
Most chiropractors, they won't invest in doing these types of things. The decompression table, the first one I had, cost $90,000 without interest.
Wow.
I was the only one within, I don't know, probably 100 miles that bought it and used it. In most chiropractors, I don't know if it's because they have too many student loans, they don't have enough trust, they won't invest in some of the equipment needed to do this. We have all, I call it toys, in the practice to treat these things that other offices can't. I'm the only one that has the decompression table. You know, we've got the new Back on Track now.
Right.
I'm the only one in I don't know how big of a radius that has one.
Right.
So we do things others aren't willing to do. You know, I love adjusting, but that's not all we do, because as much as I hate to say it, an adjustment doesn't fix everything. It fixes an awful lot, but it doesn't fix everything.
Right.
You know, there's certain times, you know, the decompression is better than an adjustment for the right type of a low back patient. You know, so, and it's the fun part for me now after all these years is figuring out who needs what and
right.
doing the right treatment plan to feel better faster. Instead of trying to, you know, when all I did was adjust, that's all I could do. You came in with whatever you had, I was going to adjust you, you know, and sometimes it helped, sometimes it didn't. And those that didn't went away thinking chiropractic doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that particular part of chiropractic didn't, but other things would have had I had the opportunity to do it. So I've invested over the years in this type of stuff. We've got a fitness center with our office. People can come in and exercise. Exercise and movement is the key to being healthy, to feeling good. Life is short. We only have so many days on this earth. And I'd much rather have a day I feel good than a day I feel bad. And if I can exercise makes me feel better, that's the ticket. And it does.
So you have so like if somebody were to start going to your office, you have a membership too where people can work out there?
They can. You can come in, and oftentimes we use some of the exercise equipment part of our treatment plan, but we also have a lot of people that come in just to exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool part about that is we've had the gym for over 20 years, is that it's easy to get people to come into the gym because they know what that is.
Right.
Once they come in and have been there, they get to meet us, they see us walking around, they see patients coming and going. And when they have a problem, they have a neck pain, they have back, whatever, they feel comfortable saying, hey, can you help this? Can you help my shoulder? I can't lift weights. I can't do bench press. I can't raise my shoulder. And I'm like, that's all you got? And I know you had Dr. Barlow on the other day and was talking about shoulders and things. And I've learned from him. He's an unbelievable teacher. But, I was like, yeah, we can fix that shoulder. And they're just amazed. And it's almost too good to be true. Like the story you told, go swim and get adjusted. People don't believe that it's actually true, which is terrible. But same thing with the frozen shoulders, the decompression with the backs. I told you about the MD earlier that said, oh, that wasn't it. The results, people just don't believe it can be helpful. They can help their headaches or their herniated disc, their degenerative disc, their degenerated knee. They don't believe it can be helped. And when it does help, they attribute it to, well, the ibuprofen finally kicked in.
Yeah, that's another story.
So.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's amazing. I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show. And I love the fact you're actually one of the few that I've actually heard that actually has like a gym.
Oh, really?
Gym. Is it what, 7 days a week open, 5 days a week, or?
Yeah, open 24/7. We've got an automated system where they can come in, and people, it's amazing. People don't rip us off. They don't tear up the equipment. They treat it as their own, and
wow.
It's been a great asset to the community. And I built the gym initially because I was tired of driving 25, 30 minutes to the nearest one. So I was like, well, crap, I'm just going to open one.
Smart.
And use it myself, and it's been good.
Wow. So where can we find you? Like, maybe tell us, where your gym's at. Is it in the same spot? If you can give us the address where we can find you so people can know.
Well, we're southwestern Indiana in a small town called Wadesville, which is by Evansville. A lot of people heard about Evansville. Probably the easiest way is Facebook anymore. I hate to say that, but it's reality. Ackerman Chiropractic, you can find us there. Ackerman Chiropractic and Fitness, you can find us there. Our website is ackermanchiropractic.com. So you can search chiropractors, and we pretty much come up. So, because we've been around so long.
Only 30 years, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm getting old. A lot of gray over here now. I did get a haircut. We can get haircuts in Indiana now. So
let me tell you something. I'm looking like a hippie. I told my wife, she's like, I go, honey, my hair is just, I feel like I'm Magnum PI from 1983. My hair is growing out. And she's like, I can cut it for you. I go, I'm fine. I just, I got to wait over here like another month.
Yeah, I know. I've got a patient from out in Seattle.
Yeah.
That's stuck here in Indiana.
No way.
They won't let her go back. So we've been seeing her since she came in February, and it's got stuck. But we've treated her for, she's got family here, and I've treated her for probably 10 years. And she always, once she comes in town, we work on her, but so.
Wow.
Small world.
Man, unbelievable. We live in some, you know what, instead of saying interesting times, just say, you know, we live in good times. I always like to reverse it. You know, there's great things that are coming. You know, great thing about our country is, you know what, we're strong. And with God, all things are possible. Again, thank you so much, Doctor, for being here on the show. Everyone, let's share this. Sharing is caring. It's about helping one person to help out 10 people, to help out 1,000 people. Have a great day, everyone, and God bless you all. I appreciate it, Doctor.
All right. Thank you. Take care.